Back in the late 1900s, any motorcycle manufacturer from the West like Harley-Davidson, Triumph, BMW, Ducati, and other small brands, lahat yan nahirapan makasurvive simula noong dumating ang mga motor na gawa sa Japan dahil mas reliable at cost-efficient ito. Even today, Japanese motorcycle brands still dominates the market sales kahit na maganda na rin ang reliability ng ibang motor. Pero bakit nga ba? Ganito kasi yan, Harley-Davidson will only sell cruisers, Ducati will only sell sport bikes, BMW focuses on battleship-sized motorcycles, pero ang mga motor gawa sa Japan, they have underbones, they have naked bikes, cruisers, scooters, sport bikes, dual sport, and etc. In short, lahat ng uri ng motor ay meron sila. Not only that, Japanese bikes are reliable, hindi sila takot mag-innovate sa iba't ibang uri ng motor as they sell bikes for different type of people. And that is their market plan, which why they dominate the global market. Isa sa mga brands na nag-struggle ay ang Benelli. They are one of the oldest motorcycle brands in the world since 1911 that has a proud heritage with racing. But heritage alone will not save the brand as it is losing sales from Japanese motorcycles year after year as they focus more on high-performance bikes. The brand is about to face extinction dahil hindi na nito kaya makipag-keep up sa sales. Then binili ito ng isang malaking kumpanya sa China called Xiaojing Group. To save the brand, they need to remodel the business plan and partnered it with their sub-company called Keyway Motors. With a huge investment capital, manufacturing power, and sales support, once again Benelli can finally develop and mass-produce motorcycles, but following a new marketing plan. Products for the masses. Like how the Japanese dominated the market, ganun din ang ginawa ni Benelli. They sell different kinds of motorcycles for different people. They have a classic, they have a cruiser, they have a roadster, they have an ADV bike. They have a learner bike and they have a scooter as well. And guess what? It worked. Kahit dito sa competitive market sa Pilipinas, Benelli is thriving despite being new. And now, Benelli plans to cover one of the hottest segments sa Asia. And that is the underbone or moped. But Benelli will push its passion for racing and cover the Hyper-Underbone Class instead. This is the RFS150i. This is Benelli's attempt to sell sport mopeds for the Southeast Asian market, including ang Pilipinas. Targeted for the new and experienced riders alike. Isipin mo, for the very first time an Italian brand of motorcycles has developed a moped that is only popular in Asia. To further compete sa big brands, they designed an Hyper-Underbone, or a motorcycle that uses a small underbone frame, but with an engine capable of reaching speeds beyond 120 kilometers per hour. Designed and engineered in Benelli, Italy, and manufactured by Xiaojing Motors in China, Then the parts are sent locally sa Cavite to be assembled to further reduce the price. Another match made in heaven para sa mga riders na tight ang budget, pero gustong makabili ng Hyper-Underbone na hindi sila mapapahiya pagdating sa performance and styling. Let's go straight to the heart of the machine. The RFS is powered by a fuel-injected 149cc liquid-cooled single-cam 4-valve semi-short-stroke single-cylinder engine producing 15.5 horsepower at 8,500 RPM and 13 Nm of torque at 7,000 RPM, and that is governed by a 6-speed gearbox. Unlike sa ibang motor, the RFS has 3 spark plugs, which improves combustion, therefore less emission, better fuel efficiency, and slightly more power down low. Drop the hammer and you can hear the bassy intake and throaty exhaust note of a 4-valve engine. The power band is mostly tuned for the low and mid-range, which means magiging easy to use ito sa city at kurbada dahil malakas ang arangkada. Pero single cam lang ito, kaya medyo mabagal magrevolusyon ng makina. Go beyond 9,000 RPM and dito na manghihingalo, which why it has a 6 gear to ensure a better top speed on the straight. Remember to brake and downshift properly bago pumasok sa kurbada para magamit mo ng buong buo ang mid-range power nito and the short gear ratio when exiting corner after the another. Benelli is proud sa racing heritage nila, and the RFS is no stranger as it has those racing genes as well dahil solid ang handling nito. The front and rear suspension is stiff, which makes the handling solid and planted sa kalsada at kurbada dahil hindi ito magiging malikot while cornering. Unlike sa ibang Hyper-Underbone, this is the only one that has an upside-down fork straight from the factory at makapalang T-post in which it supports the forks itself to ensure na stable ang motor throughout, kahit sa uneven roads while the suspension absorbs the pressure. Sinubukan ko itong isabak sa kurbada and it held with flying colors dahil super stable ng front end thanks to the stiff suspension and a wide rear tire which improves cornering ability. Plus it has a slightly long wheelbase which improves stability as well. The front brake is managed by a twin piston 240mm disc and a single piston 220mm sa likod, which is strong and progressive dahil kailangan nito ng malakas na preno para makapag-late braking and pumasok ng mabilis sa isang kurbada. The suspension, the engine tuning, the brakes, Benelli's racing experience in the works. Despite na matagtag ang suspension, your hands will not feel tired dahil malambot at spacious ang carbon textured seat which will support your ass most of the time while the suspension do its job. And it works! Komportable ang RFS due to the upright riding stance ng moped and hindi ka magsasawang gamitin ito sa city stop and go traffic dahil maganda ang power band and minimal lang ang vibrations. And the little Asian lion cub feels light to the feet. Madaling dalhin with the low seat height of 787mm. Benelli Italy crafted the styling of the bike and based it sa Tornado model nila, as the front end resembles the Tornado tray with its more rounded aerodynamic shapes than straight aggressive lines. The front end rams air into the engine keeping the temperature at bay. Then the rear floats like a sport bike at madaling tanggalin ng metal rear fender to have it replaced with a tail tidy to make it even more sporty. The RFS is the first moped that has a unique mix of Italian styling. May exotic na aura ang dating nito which will intimidate other riders lalo na bago pa ito sa paningin nila. Then there's the build quality of the bike. Yes, it was designed in Italy, but at the end of the day it is manufactured in China to make it more affordable for the masses. Don't get me wrong though, solid ang build quality nito and has a better quality than the usual Chinese na motor na makikita mo. As Benelli and QA has been building reliable and good quality motorcycles ever since, as long as you maintain it right. The RFS is a good quality bike, but may mga areas of improvement ito, and I cannot blame Benelli as this is their first time designing such bike. The daytime running lamp looks aggressively menacing, but the main headlamp assembly looks awkward and a bit of yesterday dahil halogen lamp pa ito. And the dashboard is too simple to the fact that it looks like it was taken from a bike back in 2005. Paint quality is nice, but the plastic and switchgear feels average. The suspension is great, but the cordial tires is too average for the spec. The engine is equipped with fuel injection, but the throttle feels vague, and the gearbox feels clunky at standstill. The exhaust note produces a throaty sound, but the muffler looks out of shape, and I hope Benelli would redesign it with a proper underbelly exhaust system, gaya sa 302S Roadster. But here's the catch, kalimutan mo na ang mga cons dahil first generation pa lang ito. At 91,000 pesos lang ang RFS150i, which means you have more budget to improve the bike and papugiin ito. LED lights, Pirelli tires, pare-paint mo to Ducati red, aftermarket underbelly exhaust, and you have a personalized exotic sport moped with a capable engine and handling na hindi ka mapapahiya pagdating sa weekend ride mo. At syempre, with the Benelli line of Pesaro on the sides kung saan mapapatingin sa stoplight ang ibang riders para tignan ang kakaibang motor na to. Only to know that this is the new Hyper-Underbone from House Benelli. Kaya kapag ikaw ay binombahan at minaliit na isang China bike lang yan hiding on Benelli clothes, then answer with the full throttle and let Benelli do the racing.